What's going on YouTube? Today is a really special video. I'm taking you back to where I first started playing golf, where I grew up, and where some of my fondest memories are. Like, I have so much nostalgia every time I go back to the place I grew up in a place called Endeavour Hills. And there's a small 9-hole course. I'm gonna take you there. I'm gonna show you a few things. This is also behind the scenes access to the building and the start of my golf streetwear brand. If you haven't sort of caught up on my content, I announced on my previous video that I am starting a golf streetwear brand. I have had a past in doing this kind of stuff. I'm not going to go into the details of it. If you want to kind of catch up on that, go and watch my previous video, which I'll try to link for you somewhere in this one. But I'm going to show you some of that. I'm going to give you a little bit of insight as to how I got to the position where I am and why I'm starting this golf streetwear brand. I do try to get out here. The sad part is that, my dog is a big part of this story. For anyone that has watched my content before, I love my boy Rico. He's 15 and a half years old now, and unfortunately he can't travel as much, and in the middle of winter it's a bit tough to do that. So he's not going to be here for today, but I'm going to get him out there. I'm going to get him out there when the weather starts to warm up a little bit more. And basically the backstory to building my golf streetwear brand is that if it wasn't for my dog, and if it wasn't for finding a place to go and exercise him where there was no one around, I would never have found this secluded little 9-hole course that's behind my parents' place. It's literally a stone's throw away. So that is the first time that I interacted with a golf course. I would throw sticks for him and he would go and fetch them and he'd bring them back, and then we'd find golf balls and I'd throw the golf balls. And then got to a point where I just couldn't keep throwing golf balls, so I bought a pitching wedge for like $3 at the Salvation Army just here in End of Hills. And then I started hitting pitching wedges, and I was really bad at the start, but started to get a hang of it. We found more and more golf balls as time went on, and there is a beautiful little lake which I don't know if I'll be able to access because this golf course is unfortunately now no more. It's neglected. You can sort of see the layout of the course. I'll try to get the drone up and show you a little bit of that, but it's really, really sad that it doesn't exist anymore. But it's also a part of the immortalization of those memories and that nostalgia that I've got. So, we used to find these golf balls and I would go and hit pitching wedges. He'd go get his exercise in. We'd spend hours, literally hours every spring, summer night, even winter, to be honest. We used to go out there in like almost ankle deep mud. I mean, it does stir up a lot of emotion every time I talk about this stuff, man. It honestly does. In my old shed, I used to do all my printing stuff for my brand. I've got heaps of like printing equipment and all sorts of my old clothes and stuff that I used to do. It's a mess in here, but I came here for this. Got some of my heat press equipment that I will need. I also screen print by trade, or I taught myself how to screen print. I used to sell a lot of screen prints. I think I have about 2 screens at home, and there's another one here. So I gotta pick that up, and then we'll head over to the course. Hopefully it still works. I gotta go test it out at home. But there's one other thing that I'm looking for. Man, I cannot believe my screen printing ink supplies. I used to go through this stuff. This could be 10 years old. Hey, if it's still good. This is crazy, man. Oh, sorry, cricket stuff. Some old school designs. I remember this. These are what you call a silk screen. The ink sits on it and you print screen using this onto t-shirts and garments. I hit the jackpot. These were what I came for. I need these silk screens to get some samples going. So I'm gonna pack these ones up for sure. Let's go. I used to make basketball based streetwear. This was one of like a KD my own KD impression, or KD logo impression. Shout out KD. Alright, so this is kind of where it all began. It's a little bit weird to be here without my dog. I actually haven't been back here in, I don't know how long. It's been a long time, but we used to walk through here, and basically this fence line's just been crushed by a bunch of kangaroos. So we would just kind of walk through here, and then this entire thing was a golf course. And what's sad is that there's not much to show for it now. I mean, you can even see kangaroos and stuff up there. It's actually is quite sad, man. The entire course is kind of doesn't exist anymore. It's all just shrubs. This right here was a tee box, and it would run, this hole would run basically all the way up where you see those kangaroos up there, kind of that way, straight ahead towards those power lines, and then you would then tee up and then come back down this way. And this was kind of my favorite green of all time. Let's go see if I can take a look at it. So I'm standing on what used to be the green I used to hit onto from back there. That was the fairway. And I cannot believe that it doesn't exist anymore, man. I remember just like so vividly having a pitching wedge in my hand. I used to have a red Under Armour bag, and I still got that at home, and I used to stuff it with a bunch of found or lost golf balls that I would find around here, of people just leaving golf balls behind, and I would hit them onto this green, and my dog would, my dog Rico would go chase them, and then we would probably, sometimes it'd come out with a deck chair or something, or maybe just sit down on the grass, and just sort of enjoy the views, man, because I still have a great sense of just peace and tranquility when I come back here. And I think that's what I want my brand to represent, but also with the flavor of streetwear, the stuff that I'm passionate about, being bold and kind of pushing some of the boundaries that exist in golf streetwear today. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little bit different to the stuff that I've released, but I wanted to show you a little bit more of what's gone into the thought process and a little bit of behind the scenes of building this brand, which I hope one day can bring people together to celebrate and share similar memories. That's what it's about. Oh man. All right. Until next time, don't forget, golf is hard.